Many people are looking for life-changing moments. They're looking for these lucky encounters, these chance events, these things that just change everything. Many of us want these things because, well, life sucks and we want our life to change. But no matter where you look, if you're looking at successful people that talk about these events or people that just changed, whether you be friends, family, or whoever it is, most will say that these life-changing events happen because of something extreme. Usually this is an extremely negative event that they went through. There's something bad enough that facilitated them to have to make a change. They were broke, they were poor, they didn't have any money, they had misfortune, whatever it is. Something was so bad in their life that they couldn't ignore it any longer. And because of that, they made a change. Now, I want to break down these life-changing moments a little bit because they're not that unique, or at least they don't have to be. There's two main things that can kind of circumvent having to deal with such a horrible event that you then create a life-changing moment to still create a life-changing moment. And the two things are, first of all, making the choice to make a change. Now, you already know what you need to do. You already know how to make a change. You already know what things you're essentially not doing or things you're supposed to do. And the life-changing moments basically just lead you to create the motivation to make these changes a priority. But therein lies the solution. These life-changing moments are just choices. They're just your choice to make a change now. They're your choice to get serious about the things that you already know you're supposed to do. And that's all these life-changing moments create, is the momentum to start. Now, most of us have had life-changing moments, albeit smaller versions or less extreme versions of them, where we started doing certain things, but we just didn't stick with it. The moment, whatever caused the change, was not extreme enough for us to keep the change going, for us to keep doing what we're supposed to do. And therein lies the second part. And the second way to create a life-changing moment is to let things hurt. We try so hard in life to avoid these negative moments, to avoid pain, to avoid misery, suffering, fear, worry, anxiety. We look for distractions and entertainment and TV shows and movies and social media and all these feel-good things because we don't want to feel bad. But because we avoid the negatives so much, we don't learn. There's no negative reinforcement. There's no moments that are bad enough that create a change because, well, we avoid them all. We run away from them. As soon as we don't feel too good, we go to a distraction. We watch TV, we play video games, we go on social media, whatever it is that makes us feel better. Because we value our emotions so much that we don't let the negatives ruin our lives. And you've heard countless of these phrases and countless of these stories, right? Don't let your negatives overtake, don't let them ruin your moments, stay optimistic, and blah, blah, blah. There's so much feel-good content out there that we basically completely villainized negative emotions. But the negative emotions have a purpose. They show us that something's not going right. Something is not the way it's supposed to be. If there's pain, if you're feeling pain in your body, extreme pain, you go see a doctor. You go to the hospital. You do what you need to do to get rid of the pain, but you acknowledge the pain. You don't run away from it. Because if you could run away from it, people that would break their legs would just watch TV all day to distract themselves from the pain. And, the leg's not going to heal that way. It's going to get infected. It's going to heal the wrong way. And it's likely just going to become worse until it becomes so bad that you can't ignore it anymore. At which point you make a life-changing change and go see a doctor. And physical or emotional and mental pain works the same way. but we can ignore it. So we do. We ignore the emotional pain, we ignore the mental pain until it becomes so bad that we can't ignore it anymore. Now, what if we didn't ignore it? What if we acknowledge that life sucks, that we're feeling miserable, that we're worried, anxious, afraid, that we don't feel good? What if we let the pain hurt? Well, if we did, it's very likely that we would look into where it's coming from. Why do we hurt? Where is this pain? Where is this hurt? Where's the suffering coming from? What's causing this? Right? Is it my leg? Is it my arm? Is it my job? Is it my partner? Is it my friends? Is it my productivity? What's causing the pain? Is it that I don't have any goals? Is it that I don't have any money? Where is it all coming from? And then maybe, just maybe, if we let it hurt a little bit longer, we would say, okay, let me fix this. Let me do something about this. Let me go see a professional. Let me go talk to someone. Let me learn about this. Let me try to solve it. Now, the difference here is that physical pain, there's doctors for that. And you trust the doctor to fix your pain for you. But you don't necessarily trust the therapist to fix your emotional pain, or your life coach to fix your mental pain, or your success coach to fix your money pains. And so you resist it because you don't feel it can be solved. You don't feel like it can go away. So you ignore it, you run away from it, you hide. But if it doesn't hurt, then there's no lesson. There's no change being facilitated. And then, it's a little bit of a hurt. You avoid that hurt, you run away from the next thing. Next time around, the cause of the pain is not going to go away, so it's just going to get a little bigger. So you have to ignore it a little harder. And then you keep repeating the cycle until it becomes so big that you can't really face it anymore. It's too much to look at. Then you try really hard to avoid it because it's now become a monster. So you try really hard to avoid it. And if you're lucky, you can avoid it for the rest of your life. And that'll be what your life is all about, avoiding the negatives. Not a positive existence, just not a negative one. But if you're unlucky, you'll be in some serious pain. But maybe that is getting lucky, because that would make you change something, that would negatively reinforce something to be different. Maybe when you change, your life wouldn't become about avoiding the negatives anymore, but maybe about creating something positive, about being proactive, not reactive, about doing what you need to do so the pain goes away instead of avoiding it. But to do that, you'd have to, at least at some point, be in pain. You'd have to let things hurt. You'd have to allow yourself to suffer a little bit. Maybe, or at least probably in most cases, more than you feel comfortable with. Not a lot more, because that also gets dangerous in its own right, but slightly more. But that's the way to change. That's the way things get better. That's the way things become different. There's a spiritual guru by the name of Adyashanti who once said something that stuck with me for a long time, and he said, negative emotions are like a cleansing fire. They burn away the grime. They burn away all that dirt you've been carrying. And that's true. But you can only burn that stuff away from your life if you stand in the fire. Something most people are not comfortable doing. The point to this video is to get you to see that you can change your life at any moment. You don't have to go to these horrible negative events that all these people talk about, or these mindset changes, or these motivating factors that cause them to change their life forever. Those only happen to a few lucky people. You can create smaller versions of that more often, which will honestly create more lasting change if you do it from time to time, by accepting the little pains, by not turning away from what hurts, by looking at what makes you afraid, by looking into the eyes of whatever is causing you to suffer, and by trying to make that change. That's why I believe, personally, that a lot of self-improvement is just about courage. It's not about knowing what to do. You already know what to do. It's about being brave enough to face it. Being brave enough to be uncomfortable. Being brave enough to be in pain. Being brave enough to face life. Hopefully, this gives you some insights. Hopefully this video causes you to, next time when you're in pain, to maybe look into it, to maybe suffer on purpose, to maybe allow the fire to just burn away at whatever's bogging you down a little bit longer. And maybe, just maybe, it'll burn strong enough, painfully enough, for you to get lucky and for you to create some motivation to change your life. Hopefully. If you liked this video and if this did cause some changes with you, if this resonates with you, please remember to leave a like, to subscribe for more, and yeah, leave a comment down below what you've been avoiding, what pains you've not been looking into. I'd love to hear about them. I'll see you in the next video.